This is All Access MMA.
Always great catching up with the next guest. It is Alex Perez, who's going to be back in action against Matt Schnell at UFC Fight Night on August 28th. Alex, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Can't complain. How are you?
Doing great, but I'm not in Vegas right now. Interesting, you were telling me off air that you're actually out there helping a fighter on this weekend's card. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I'm helping Mulan. She's getting ready to fight. Came down to her camp. She needed some help, so came out to help her. I mean, it's always a good experience to, get to, she's from China, so get to learn, what they're about, and just the experience of being able to help someone out is always fun.
Absolutely. Do you call her Mulan? I know that's her nickname. Isn't her first name? Isn't it why I can't even pronounce it?
Yeah.
So you just call her Mulan. It's easier.
Mulan. I just call her Mulan. It's easy.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier. No, I hear you. I'd be the same way as well. Before we get into the fight stuff, man, this is our first interview since you became a dad. Congratulations. How's all that going, man? Because I'm actually having my second in September. So I know how fatherhood is.
It's fun, man. I got lucky. The baby's actually really good. Not too crazy fussy. He's hyper, but other than that, it's actually pretty good. He loves he actually loves watching fights and loves being at the gym. He'll get mad if we're trying to put him to bed and there's fights going on. He'll start screaming and he'll just watch the TV. Super fun, props to his mom for stepping up in camp because she's doing 99% of the work right now. Obviously, I got to focus on my fight, but it's part of the best part of my day, waking up to him, hanging out with him for a minute, and then, obviously having to go train and stuff. But between trainings, coming home and hanging out with him, even though he's fussy sometimes or whatever it is, it's always fun.
How's the sleep schedule? That's the big thing, because my son was up when he was in the first year or two. It was tough on my wife, but we would do she'd do the night shift, I'd do the morning and evening shift type thing.
He's not too bad. I mean, there's every once in a while he has so my kid's big. He's about to be 6 months next week, and wow. He's 21 and a half pounds. Got 2 teeth. He's coming with his third tooth coming out already. So he's a little fussy, but at night he sleeps pretty well. I mean, maybe he wakes up once or twice. Once to eat, once because he needs a diaper change, but nothing too crazy. I'm lucky enough that his mom takes him at night. And then I get to sleep in at night, and then I take him in the morning because I'm up no matter what early. So I get up and run and walk my dog, and by the time I come back, shower and everything, he's about to get up around 7-ish, 7:30-ish, and I take him from that time until I have to take off to the training. So sleep isn't too bad.
Good. No, that's good to hear, man. And has that sort of changed your outlook on your fight career? I know for a lot of people, it's when you have that kid, you're not just fighting for yourself or your family, you're fighting for, someone else and also setting that good example as well. Do you find that the mentality's changed a bit?
I think I've always had that kind of mentality just because, my biggest thing is I like to take care of my family and friends, whether it's going out to eat or, helping them out any way I can. So I've always had the mentality I'm fighting just for something bigger than myself. But definitely add some added motivation. There's been times where I've been I don't want to do this, and I'm like, you know what, this is gonna push me that much more over the limit, and definitely has changed a little bit.
Cool. Now I know you're supposed to fight Matt Schnell in May. Obviously, that ended up being a switch up later. But what was that injury? I was curious about that, and when were you able to get back in there after the injury?
So it was my pelvis. Just kind of tweaked it. I'm guessing throughout the years, and it started getting really bad. And my team and everybody, we got together, and it was kind of just let's take some time and just get fixed up. I mean, I could have maybe fought, but one, not been 100%, but then two, made it worse. So it's not worth it for me. You know what I mean? Especially, I'm planning to be in the UFC for a long time. It's not worth me going out there taking a loss because I'm not healthy. If I don't mind losing if the guy's better than me, if he just beats me, then he beats me. But if it's because I'm not close to 100% or because something like that is kind of not worth it for me at this point. I don't fight for money no more. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm the richest guy. I also work on the side. I also do my stuff on the side, private training, teaching classes. I got a couple different businesses I'm going into. So I do work on the side, but this is my main source of income. And it's to take a loss just for the money, it's not worth it.
Yeah, and you got to be smart too, right? Because obviously you had the fight with Davison, and so you don't want to come back, sort of 50% or whatever, and then risk that, and then being like, oh, I should have never taken the fight because I was too injured, right? So you got to be smart about your career too, right?
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of people don't know. After I lost to Davison, they did offer me a fight like that's on the same card, against Askarov, the same card Moreno, and Davison fought right after me, and I was like, I declined it, not because I don't think I can beat them, but I've seen a lot of people take a fight like when they don't get hurt, they say they, like me, I got submitted, right? And they're like, oh, you know what? I want to go in there and prove everybody wrong, like it was just a fluke, and jump right back into a fight and then lose because they're just trying to prove something. So I kind of took the step back. I was like, you know what? I already have planned a vacation, go see my dad and family in Mexico. I'm not going to turn that down. I've said yes to the UFC every time. This is probably the first time I've ever said no. And it's like I said, I haven't seen my family in Mexico at that point in time. It was around like 3-4 years. It's like, I got to go see my dad and my family out there. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just turn it down and live to fight another day.
Okay, well, that's interesting. And then obviously, was this sort of the right amount of time you wanted to fight, or were you trying to get a fight a little bit sooner than this?
Obviously, I was trying to fight in May. You're
supposed to fight Asker later, right? Like, take me through that, because I'm trying to remember like the whole sequence of events, because it was Schnell in May, and then after.
So I fought Davison, lost, and then they offered me to fight Askar. I said no, and then that was it. That was the end of the negotiation. I was like, I can't do it. I got to go hang out with my family. Then they offered me a couple more fights. I said yeah, but the dates didn't work out. I think it was close to where my son was going to be born.
Oh, right.
It was in February, and I was like, you know what? Like, usually I'm down, but like I can't miss I don't want to be that guy that says yes and then like say my son's born that week, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to be there with my son. I want to at least be there the night he's born and then take off from there. And I just didn't know the timing. Obviously, you can't really plan that stuff. So I said, I was like, I'll just wait. So I wanted to fight sooner before the baby was born, but at the same time, too, it's kind of like no rush. And then obviously we got the fight in May, and I was super stoked. Obviously, it was going to be on a pay-per-view, going to be in front of a crowd, and I've been to Texas a few times, so I was excited to go back and eat some food, eat some steaks, and again hurt. And a couple weeks later, I think they told me like it was a month of recovery for me. So by the time I pulled out, by the time they offered me the fight, it was good to go. They asked me if I wanted to fight Askar, and I was like, I'm down. He got injured, and then I was trying to get a replacement for. I was supposed to fight this weekend. I was trying to get a replacement. Couldn't make it happen. Matt stepped up, and but he wanted to fight on August 28th. I was trying to get it August 7th. I was trying to get it as soon as possible, but it just didn't work out. So I just took the date. I'm grateful that Matt stepped up, and grateful I got a fight coming up.
Let's talk about the matchup. Schnell 15-6. How do you feel like you match up against him in the matchup?
Feel good, man. I feel it's gonna be an exciting fight. Honestly, he likes to go out there, stand up, and bang. I do too. He's good on the ground. I'm good on the ground. Obviously, people think my weakness is my jiu-jitsu, especially after that last fight. So I'm excited to challenge myself. He's a tough guy. He got a win over one of my teammates, Louis Samoka. So I'm excited to get that one back for the team, and excited to make a statement, show everybody that. I mean, I can't say Davison beat me and it was a fluke. You know what I mean? I never believe in luck. He threw up the submission. He got it. I just reacted wrong. So I'm excited to show everybody that, shit happens. You can always come back from it.
Yeah. How do you look at that fight with Davison? Was it just a simple mistake and he capitalized? Were there any nerves? Like, how are you feeling like after the fact, looking back on that fight? Because it was very quick, right?
I felt good. I honestly, everybody thought like the plan was to take him down. It wasn't. He hit like I don't know if it was a right hook or left. I think it was a left hook. He hit a left hook and I kind of dodged it, but he kind of hit me like weird. It was kind of like he shoved me to that single leg, and my reaction as a wrestler, single leg's here, and kind of took him down. And then from there, obviously, I got caught in the guillotine. It was just a late reaction, I always tell people it's a game of inches. The split seconds matter. And by the time he locked it in, I remember trying to jump to the opposite side, and I actually jumped into his guard. And it is what it is. And, there ain't no excuses. He was a better guy that day. I still believe I'm better than him. I feel like 9 out of 10 times I'll win that fight. Shit happens, that's the only way to put it.
Yeah, in the rearview mirror. Training camp, you talked about one of your teammates there, Louis Smolka. Who else are you getting to work with for this camp?
So I got Ricky Simone. I got, Cheeto Vera. I got all the guys at Team Oyama, Saeed, Elijah. I've been wrestling with Vanguard Wrestling, in the IA school down the street from where I live. I've been training with those guys, once or twice a week, just to go back to the old school wrestling. I believe that you got to wrestle. The further and further you get away from wrestling, the worse and worse it becomes. So I'm trying to mix that back in, wrestling consistently. And then obviously Corey Beasley does my strength and conditioning. I've been with him for about 7-8 years. And then Jivo Santana, still doing my jiu-jitsu with him. I won jiu-jitsu. And then, I usually go out to Factory X. I wasn't able to make it this camp, but hopefully for the next one, I'll be out there.
You still doing your weight cuts with Perfecting Athletes, or how are you doing your cut
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Nah, I work with Perfecting Athletes. I'm a big person of loyalty goes a long way. Like, obviously they introduced the trifecta and stuff, and nothing against trifecta, nothing against the UFC with the trifecta stuff, but for me, I just don't know how I would leave someone that's helped me get to where I'm at today. And I love Perfecting Athletes. They're like family to me. I mean, literally, we talk all the time. I send them baby pictures, stuff like that. They help Christina when she was pregnant. They're helping her now. So I love those guys to death. All their staff and everything's phenomenal. I mean, anything I've ever asked, they've got it done.
Awesome. How do you see this fight playing out on August 28th?
I'm going in there to make a statement. You know what I mean? Me and Brandon got some unfinished business. We're supposed to fight. Then obviously I got the title shot. Some of the stuff that I felt like he was saying, people were trying to say it was because he speaks Spanish, his English isn't great. I heard some things about his coach saying and stuff like that. So it's not personal, but I'm a person, like, I'm not going to talk online. Like, if I see you, I'm going to tell you to your face. I'm not a person that can sit there on Twitter and Instagram and like, hey, you said that. Like, I'm going to go up to him and ask him. So I got some unfinished business. I feel like we're a good matchup. I'm a good matchup for him. I feel it'll be a fun fight. We both like to stand. I don't see him taking me down. I'm not going to take him down. I want to make a statement. I want to make a statement with this fight to obviously get the next title shot. But if I don't get the next title shot after I beat Schnell, back to the drawing board and just keep working. Just keep doing what I've been doing.
Is that hard because Moreno and you obviously have the same manager? I know you're close with your management. Like, is that ever awkward? With that whole situation, because obviously you want to fight him, and you guys have the same manager.
Nah, to me, like, just because we're the same manager, it doesn't mean we're on the same team. Mm-hmm. Like, what benefits Brandon doesn't benefit me. I've been with Jason, Jeremy, the Iridium guys since
the beginning. Actually, you were one of their first ones, I think. If I'm right.
Yeah, since I was 18, and I've had to learn throughout the years that business and personal, like me and Jason, Jeremy all have a business relationship, and we can literally get something done or talk about something and freaking try to kill each other, like over a fight or something, and then 2 minutes later, like, hey, what's for dinner, So like I said, like, that doesn't bother me. Don't get me wrong, I was super happy when Brandon won because my manager, my good friend, my family got his first champion. He deserves it. Probably one of the hardest working guys. I remember living with him in San Diego in a 2-bedroom apartment, to Lake Elsinore, to Vegas. I've seen him come up from the top to from the bottom to the top where he's at. So, believe me, I was the first one to text him, congratulations. I was texting him all week, man. I was like, you guys got this. Congrats. I'm super happy for you guys. So I'm super happy for him and the team for the champion. Do I care that it's Brandon that won it? That didn't, like, nah, not really. I just, like, am I happy for Brandon? Cool. That this Brandon, that, I'm not friends with Brandon. I'm friends with Jason. So I'm super happy for Jason and all the accomplishments he's done, just to add one more notch to his belt. But to me, there's no, me and Brandon got nothing in common.
And on that same note, maybe something you disagree with your management with, they're sort of entertaining this possible Cody Garbrandt fight. Just your thoughts on that, because I know this is something we've talked about before, back when Cody did have his title shot against Davison.
Um, Man, they're like I said, they're doing what's best for their client, Brandon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that's a money fight. Shit, if I was in that situation, give me the money fights.
Okay.
I can't blame them for trying to get the best for their client. You know what I mean? Like they would do the same for me. They would do the same for Brandon Roybal, Cheeto Vera. You know what I mean? They're gonna do the same for their clients, and that just happens to be one of their clients. Do I think it's fair? Nah. I mean, he's coming off a loss. For him to get an automatic title shot, no. If he would have beat Rob Font, I could kind of see it, but even then, I'd be like, hey man, you got no work at 25s. You know.
He hasn't even made the weight yet either. That's the interesting thing. Like, I'm sure he will, but still, it's like, you know.
I mean, you never know. People just think, oh, I don't cut no weight for this weight class. You know, how many times you seen guys like, oh, I don't cut no weight to this, and they weigh in like, for example, say you're fighting at 85s, you weigh in like 82, 83. But then when you start putting that stress on your body to cut the extra 10 pounds, it takes a big effect. Like, I'm a big 25er. You know what I mean? And it's hard getting down, it's hard dieting, and it's hard, you know, but I do it. And if you've never done it, it's kind of like hard to say, oh, well, this is my natural weight. It's not your natural weight because you're not walking around at that weight class. Just because you think it's your like, it's different. My natural weight is way different than what I fight. It's not like I'm walking around 127. I can say that's my natural weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when people say, oh, that's his natural, it's not his natural weight. His natural weight is what he wakes up at every morning. And I'm pretty sure it's not 125. So for him to get a title shot, you know, get your money fight, man. Get your money. At the end of the day, we're going to run it. Our paths are going to cross. So I kind of just worry about myself, worry about what's coming up next for me, and then we'll go from there. I mean, don't get me wrong. If he wins and they give him a title shot, cool. I mean, I'm just sure to work, do my thing, and you know, make money.
Alex, thanks so much for doing this. We went over time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend in Vegas. In the meantime, if you got anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
First, thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Always enjoy talking to you. Just if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, Alex Perez MMA. All my social media is Alex Perez MMA. I'd like to thank Miss Mary Jane CBD, Drink HRW, Bow Valley Barbecue, ATTC, Oregon, Sanibel, and Catalyst. Those are my main sponsors for this fight. And just I always like to thank my team, family, friends. You know, Christina for stepping up and helping with the baby. You know, taking charge right now while I'm in camp. Definitely makes things a lot easier. You know, stress-free. And, yeah, just thank you to everybody. Excited to put on a show for you guys. Excited to get back in the win column and get back into the cage.